Just the fuel tank, huh?
Fuel tank and probably fuel pump.
Yeah. The alarm system, yeah.
I put a new antenna on it because the old one was totally messed up.
Okay.
And one that goes with the factory, which is the power antenna in the trunk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's got bullet holes on the other side.
Oh.
Shots at it.
Huh. Here's the 1984 Nissan 200SX at home. I bought this from SouthJK, and it's going to need a little bit of repair work to get it going again. It had been driving okay until there was a problem with the fuel pump. So I'll just take a look at the engine here. It's a 4-cylinder. It's got 2 spark plugs per cylinder. 4 here. And then 4 down in there. Kind of hard to get to. I don't know how I'm going to get into those to replace them. I don't know if you have to take off the intake manifold or what. Here's the new fuel filter. It looks like SouthJK put a new fuel filter on it. There's the intake manifold and the fuel inlet. Let's see, this looks like the power steering fluid and the brake fluid reservoir. Let's see where I know the here's the hydraulic clutch fluid reservoir here. I got into the fuel pump here. I brushed away the dust from the fuel pump area and noticed that there's some corrosion. I sprayed it with PB Blaster, so hopefully I can get these nuts or these bolts off without having to drill them out. I found the fuel pump connector here, and luckily SouthJK got the service manual for this. It had the schematics with it. So I'm testing for the presence of 12 volt DC going to the fuel pump. And let's see, let me turn the key on. I'll go in there, turn it on. And I think there is power at the fuel pump connector. Got the key on now. Let's see what kind of a voltage rating we're getting. Yeah, 11.2. I think this battery is kind of weak. So it looks like there is voltage present there. And I tested the continuity of the fuel pump too, like it said to do in the service manual, and there was none. So maybe a thermal fuse went out inside the fuel pump, causing it to go open circuit, or maybe the motor just burned out. So that's the first thing to do to be able to drive the Nissan again. We had it towed out here. Here's the digital display. It's like 155,000 miles. Just take a look at some of the controls here. Looks like the headlights do work okay. Notice I went to the front and looked, and they come on. And the radio does work. My thing is, it doesn't remember its settings when it gets turned off.
Girl, I've been waiting on this long, hard day to get over. Rest my head right here on your shoulder.
The door panels had come off. They were in the trunk. Let's take a look at the outside of it here. It's really in pretty good shape. I'm going to get that new fuel pump, although I think it's going to be kind of expensive. I was looking at one on the World Wide Web and it was in the $200 range, but oh well. It's not like you can put a fuel pump on this bus here for about $10. Of course, it's carbureted, but this electric fuel pump seems to be very expensive. And another thing was, I think there was a leak in the fuel tank, so I'm going to have to take the fuel tank off, maybe get a new one on there if that can't be repaired. I look forward to being able to drive the Nissan here once I fix these problems. And from what I remember when riding in it, it did run really well.